Stays
I
okay.
have something else that we need to talk about here on the pre-show.
Okay.
Did you see the Neutron trailer?
Yes.
Are you as disappointed in that trailer as I am?
Okay, so I'm not the only one. Why?
No.
Why is any of this Tron movie in the real world? Why? What are you
That see,
doing?
so here is the thing.
Uh-huh.
Unless they're playing the ultimate double play here.
Sure, the MGS2 of Tron movies.
Yes, if they're doing that, fucking fantastic.
Sure.
I will be so happy. I will be so excited if they are pulling the MGS2 of Tron movies.
Yep.
That is absolutely fine by me. However, they're probably not doing that.
Probably not.
But the reason I say that is because the only way having this movie in the real world that makes sense if you bring Cora back for this movie
Right.
as like the heroine who is going to stop Ares in the real world.
Right.
That is what you need. You need Cora or Jack or whatever his name was, the son. They need to be in this movie.
Right.
It's the only way it makes sense for it to be in the real world is if they are in this movie.
Right.
And
That
it
would be
does
okay.
not look like they are.
No. Also, the elephant in the room, Jared Leto, just like a allegedly gross human being. Not super pumped to see him in that film.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Man, someone else who has their own island. We're just going to say that and leave that hanging in
That's
the
right.
air quietly for a while
Yep.
and pretend that we don't know what we're talking about. Wink, wink and a nod.
Favor,
Wink.
thank you. I accidentally hit the wrong button, and I streamed to the wrong channel. Also, I don't think I can multi-stream today because my internet is upsetty spaghetti.
Yes.
Yeah,
You guys are seeing a relatively clear version of him. I am seeing a pixelated mess of a Boston on my
that's right.
side of things.
That's right. I went back to
Hmm.
1997 on the PS1.
Dude, it's around about that, yes.
Sorry, I'm on the Saturn.
Oh, dude, why not the Dreamcast? I mean, come on.
Well, Dreamcast
At
has
least you have the
better FMV
keyboard.
than this, I think.
At least you have the keyboard
True.
controller.
I could be playing Typing of the Dead right now. Oh
I
man,
mean, we can do that anyway. We have Steam. I'm just
that's
saying.
true. That's true. Okay. Are you ready to get started?
Oh, about as ready as I'll ever be.
Oh.
I just realized we were talking about Kingdom Hearts in the intro in the pre-show.
Mm-hmm. What is that shirt? Is that a Kingdom Hearts shirt?
It's 100% a Kingdom Hearts shirt. It's
That's
the Battle
wild.
of the Lions t-shirt where it's Sora
Mm-hmm.
fighting with Leon.
Hmm. That's pretty fun.
Ow! Fuck my elbow.
You have to stop moving, man.
Yeah, I know. I just keep fucking hitting shit. I don't have enough maneuverability space.
Right. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. I'm joined, as always, by Moonpier.
Hello, Xbox Series X.
That's right. The Nymph is out on vacation today. Hopefully, we will see him return next week. Wanted to remind everybody that this is a patron-supported show. So if you'd like to support this show by becoming a patron, you could do so at e1m1.cash.
Those ones are the numbers.
You can get the $5 a month tier. It's recommended one that gets you everything. You get early access to stuff like We Were Glycate and Critical Misses, exclusive access to The Outcast. I have a monster list of stuff that Moon and I talked about this week. It is across every spectrum of things we could possibly talk about.
Yes.
We've covered it all this week over there. And at the $5 tier or higher, you get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting, one of my favorite shows that we put on, and the Wayward Sons Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Nimp are going through. All of that and more over at e1m1.cash.
The ones in our buzz.
Quick plug here, production-wise, a brand new episode of Game Club out right now for 2 a T. A perfectly shaped episode in all regards. If you want to listen to that, an episode that we had trouble figuring out how to talk about a very weird game.
Yes.
I think we got there in the end, but it was an experience, to be sure.
Yes.
So that's live right now, and our next game is going to be Tactical Breach Wizards. We'll be playing that for the next month. So you want to check that out and play along with us? You can do so over there. All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I'm just trying to find an appropriate emote that you remembered about the game club. So I spammed our chat with emotes because
Thank you.
you remember the game club this week.
I
which is
wrote
great.
it. It's right here. It
This
says
month.
a star Game Club Arrow to a T Arrow Tactical Breach Wizards. It's my shorthand.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what it is with me, but every time you start the countdown, I want to yawn.
Yes, 100%. Like your brain is like, all right, let's get it out of the way here before we have to get started. And your brain's like, now's the time to yawn. It's like, no, wait, stop, no.
But the really scary part is it's not just you. It's anytime I start counting down for any form of recording, like when we do Wayward Sons, I do the countdown, and then I have to yawn.
Man,
it's ridiculous. Oh, what's going on? I've been like Pavlov dogged into yawning anytime someone counts backwards from 3.
that's right.
If only. Anyway, I only really played 2 things this week. The first thing is Despot's game. I have done at least 1 run every single day for Despot's game, except for Thursday when I passed out on the couch.
Okay.
And then Saturday I did it after we recorded, because I passed out on the couch again. Might notice a theme for
running,
what I've been
theme.
doing this week. Yes. Moon is exhausted is the theme.
Yeah.
Not a single wheelman has spawned, and it's killing me
Oh my god.
so much because they only spawn in the final zone, and I can't get them to spawn. And that mutation can also be unlocked by winning 184 times in blitz mode, in brawl mode.
Okay. What's brawl mode again? Can you refresh my memory?
Brawl mode is one of the new modes. Like it was not in the game when we played it.
Oh. Okay.
And basically what it is it does new room, mutation room, storeroom, PvP. New room, mutation room, storeroom,
Wow.
PvP.
Okay, so
new
Blitz,
room, mutation room, storeroom,
Blitz makes
PvP.
sense because you're cooking through a bunch of floors.
Yes, and you get like
Okay.
3 lives essentially in it. So like if you get wiped, you get rezzed 3 times.
Mm.
Game is so broken now that like I have tried that mode and I think I have 1 win in like 15 attempts at it.
Jeez.
And it's like, why is taking me more time? Like an hour-long run at this, or 184 wins in like brawl mode?
And such a weirdly specific, very high number too. It's not 100.
Yeah, dude, it couldn't have been like 50.
Right. Or like even if it's an even 100, you're like, okay, cool, but 184, like very weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm torn now between doing that or doing the regular mode and just hoping that RNG helps, but RNG is not helping me right now.
Yeah.
So like, which one do I do? Do I like?
Do you alternate?
Because the
maybe?
last time I saw, and like the last time I saw a wheelman, it was on the sprint mode where it's smaller floors. For it, but I know I definitely saw wheelman before that on the regular mode, but that was how many patches ago?
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of that, do I disconnect from myself from the internet revert it back to its downloaded state, like the original downloaded state,
Right.
if I can, and then try and do it that way.
Right.
Would that help? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Man.
Like I just don't know. It is a chore of a struggle, which it's kind of fine at the same time because it's like, I don't want to think, dudes. I
And
don't
it
want
is
to
a
use my
good
brain.
game.
It is. It's just I hate good games when they do this to me, where it's like,
Yeah.
do this one specific thing that takes 7,000 hours,
Hmm.
do it now.
And I'm sure a lot of
Like,
listeners would say, like, why don't you just not get this achievement? You're too close to getting all of them
yeah.
to quit now.
I thought the vet one was going to be the one that really took it out of me, but no, it's
Yeah.
not. It's this one.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's like, nah, I don't know. Also, it's a game that I don't really mind playing when I don't have to think. And
Yeah.
right now, I don't want to think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I can't.
Too tired to think.
I'm like, yeah, I'm too tired to think, but also too tired to sleep and everything else in between. And it's just, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I played that. I can't remember if I played Firebreak this week. I don't think so.
We played a little bit of Firebreak
Yeah,
on
I saw
Thursday.
your Blue Sky notification about
Hmm.
this. How did it go? Actually, no, you can talk about that when it's your turn. Why
Well,
am I asking for
I,
you
I
for?
only
Because the only
I have like maybe 30 seconds about it. I started a brand new game
okay,
because it doesn't have cross progression. And we had a blast. We played for like 2 hours. I think we made it through the first three areas. No, the last one we did was the shooting the pearls in space in the rocket. And we had a great time. Like its progression, I think, is happening a little bit faster than I was expecting at the beginning of the game. Now that we know what to do, and
mhm.
it felt good. I got a bunch of upgrades, and that game's great. I've still have the only bad thing I have to say about that game is there's no cross progression. But I spent $40 and I'm starting it back over, and I'm still having a blast. So like, I think that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah. I like every time I pick it up, I have fun with it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's it's not blowing my mind. It's not taking over everything. But it's fun.
I
It's a
I
dumb fun thing to watch.
I feel like it's the perfect once a week game. Like if I was playing it more than that, or like maybe once every other week, I feel like if I was playing more
Mhm.
than that, I might sort of be like, there's just not enough content. There's not enough like variability. There's not enough yada yada yada. But for once a week where I'm playing for 2 hours, it's great. Super like hanging out with
Yeah.
my friends. We're playing a game that we have to think about just enough, and we're just having a great time playing a fun game. And I
Yeah.
can't be mad about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's fun. The only other thing I played was Repo. Game night happened.
Mm.
Um, so they updated Repo a whole bunch, Boston.
Okay.
Did you know it now has phases of the moon?
Oh, that sounds like it's a problem.
Well, I'm just saying that once the phases of the moon tick over, you don't get as much health back from the ship anymore.
Okay.
Enemies do more damage, kind of
Ew.
thing, and the phases of the moon coincide with how long you've been there.
Okay, so it's just like an SMT game now, where the moon rules every aspect of it.
Yep.
So
And as you progress further in days, the monsters get stronger and you get weaker.
so basically, it is. It sounds like I don't want to say penalizes you because that sounds like it might be a little bit stronger, but it's kind of encouraging you and like pushing you through. Like you can't take forever in this game. Like you need to keep moving at a fast enough clip. Is that what it's
Well,
aiming for?
it's not per level, it's per day. So it starts
Oh.
ticking like
Hmm.
after a certain number of days. So
Hmm.
it's like a slight jump up in difficulty basically as you're playing it.
That's sort of on paper. That sounds tough because if they were gonna do something of like, there's kind of a running timer while you're in the level, I could see them doing that of like, look, man, you can't spend 45 minutes on a level trying to get every single like individual piece of loot. Like you gotta keep moving. Um,
Uh-huh.
I could see them doing that, but doing it on a run basis rather than a level by level basis sounds tough. Sounds rough.
Yeah, and we only got like 7 or 8 days in. I I can't talk about this game. It was the usual. It was fun. It was chaotic. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot talk about this particular run, however, without giving mad props to the Chaos Goblin, which is Bilsiford,
Oh.
uh, who like on one level did a save of 4 people
Oh wow.
twice.
Oh jeez.
Like mad props to that.
Yeah, that's a real
It was
MVP run there.
100%. It was shocking and how easily we all died because hey, gnomes have a little pickaxe. I don't know if you know this or not.
Oh really?
But yeah, gnomes have a little pickaxe that they'll attack you with if there's no loot that they can destroy.
I had no idea. That's interesting.
Yep, gnomes will do you dirty if they need to.
Hmm.
It is a little bit scary,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to pick them up and smash them against the walls because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, but yes.
I'm
Repo is fun, chaos, anarchy. I'm gonna have to mess with the mods a little bit because a couple of them have become depreciated because of the update.
right.
Specifically the late join one, which is a little bit of an annoying one to
Yeah.
have depreciated. So I'm gonna
I'm
have to just do some fiddling around with it and then see how things go.
I'm really curious to see where the development of this game goes because I think when you look at the development of Lethal Company, the dev has very long development cycles. So I feel like the game is kind of left alone for a really long time. Um, and it seems like the difficulty doesn't necessarily go up in major ways all the time. I'm really curious to see what the devs are going to do for Repo because I think if you look at the audience of people that are playing these games, a lot of like I'm sure you hear this from a lot of YouTubers and streamers of like, well, the game's too easy now, and like I know all the tricks, I know all the secrets, I know everything that's coming for me. Like, why isn't this game
That's
harder?
what mods are for.
But right, and like it has to be really hard from a development perspective of like, how do you balance, or do you want to balance the needs of the people that are playing this for 20 hours a week versus the people that are playing it for an hour a week? Like, do you even try to balance that, or do you just say like, okay, if you've seen everything this game has to offer, I think you're done. Like, so I'm curious to see now with this kind of the phases of the moon progression thing. Like, is that the first step of them saying like, all right, if you guys have seen everything in the game, now we need to start ratcheting up the difficulty, or is that them kind of trying out some interesting new things? That's
Yeah.
something to keep
I
an eye
mean,
on, I think.
we have run into this problem so many times on We Roguelike It, where it's like,
Yes.
hey, this game was in early access and now it's in 1.0. It is unbearably difficult.
Yeah, it's impossibly difficult to start because everyone in the early access was like, okay, well, games have been in early access for 6 months. I've played it for 5,000 hours. Now it's too easy. What you
Hmm.
got? And it's like, well, that's cool, but I just started it. It was on sale for $3 2 years after its release, and now it's impossible to play. So, thanks, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Key example of this is go check out the space whaling game that we played.
think it was called Black Sea Odyssey, if I remember correctly.
That's the one.
Yep. Thankfully, not a problem we're running into right now with the game we're playing, which is Wild Frost. That game is great.
Yes.
People should go listen to those
Yes. Go
episodes
play
and check that out.
Wildfrost.
Yeah, that game's a
Hey
blast.
Rob, if you're listening to this and you haven't downloaded and played Wildfrost yet, you should totally do it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
just
It's
saying.
it's
This is
really
a
good.
this is a game for Rob.
Yep.
Um but yes, no, Repo continues to be hilarious and stupid and fun of all the best kind of thing.
Yep.
Um but yes, that's all I've been playing. So other than, the game I forgot the name of, what else have you been playing, Boston?
Death Stranding 2. Want to remind everybody, I'm not going to talk about spoilers here. I think once Nimp is back, as if he's played more of it, we'll probably start talking about more mechanics and maybe more kind of large overarching story stuff once he starts coming back, because it's been out for a couple of weeks now. I don't want to be like overly cautious about talking about stuff forever, but I wanted to mention that I'm going to be talking around the ending and sort of talking about larger ending stuff, but I'm not going to say like here's exactly beat by beat what happens about the ending. Nothing like that. Um, I did finish this game. I really my focus this week really was I'm gonna buckle down. I'm just gonna go through the ending of this game and I'm just gonna finish it up. And I did. It was incredibly long. Just and that's what I was expecting. Just like the first one, just an
How long was
incredible.
it, Boston?
That's right. It was. I had to split it up over 2 days. It was such a long experience, but I think one of my biggest criticisms of the ending of the first game was a lot of it wasn't playable, and it was a lot of like cutscene after cutscene after cutscene, and just kind of like the ending of the first game is just them like lore dumping on you for a very long time. Thankfully, a lot of the ending of this game is playable. So there are multiple hours sort of stretching across the ending of this game, but a lot of it is you still playing Death Stranding 2. So, like, the actual ending of this game, if we're going to go by, like, cutscene time, is pretty short. But everything leading up to all of that stuff was really playable, and I think they did a much better job in this one of giving you opportunities to like take a break and save your game, where it's very clearly like, okay, you have reached like a story beat, or you've reached an area of the game that you is clear that like once you go into this area, or like once you go back to your private room or something, the next part of the game is going to start. So this is a, without the game explicitly telling you, this is a really good place for you to save your game and take a break. So I
Yeah.
think that's a huge improvement over the previous game. And I think the first game, especially in the last handful of hours, got too bogged down in its own lore. Like it had so much stuff. The Death Stranding 1 is so front loaded with a bunch of story stuff, and then you're delivering for like 40 hours, and then it's so backloaded with, okay, now we have to cram the rest of the story in. I know that's not really the case, but that's kind of how Death Stranding 1 felt. um
Hmm.
I think they did a much, much, much better job in Death Stranding 2 of trying to balance that stuff as you go through the game, but also having the ending be a lot more straightforward. So it isn't this like really heady kind of dissertation on X, Y, or Z. Um, it is a much more straightforward story. And I think it is a lot more easily understandable. And I think that really does help this game overall. Being able to finish the game and being like, okay, I think I got like 95% of it, and maybe I'll have to look up something for like, okay, what was the sequence of events here? But coming out of that first game, I was sort of like, huh? What are we? What are we talking about
I
here?
mean, that's how everybody responds when they come out of most Kojima games. Are
And
you telling me he made a semi-legible one this time?
I really think he did. Like, it's still really like, look, it's still a Kojima game. It's gonna hit all of the notes that you expect a Kojima game to do, sort of like post MGS3. Um, and I love it for that. Like, I love that he's just out there making Kojima games, and it's just he's doing his thing, and I think that's really great. And I think for people that don't like his stuff, um, I think it's a bit of a bummer for them because it's not going to be the thing that brings them into the Kojima fold. Um, it's like if you don't haven't liked the last couple of Kojima games, or if you didn't like Death Stranding 1, this isn't gonna do it for you. It's not the complete redo of everything that Kojima makes. Um, but it really is a Kojima game, and it really is a a standard thing, kind of thing that he does in a way that I really like and I really respect. Of like, it has the hallmarks of it being something that he makes, and let's be honest, that's a double-edged sword, because a lot of it is people gonna come out of this game just being like, "What? what do you, what happened? Like, what are you talking about? What happened? I don't understand any of this." Um, and to me, that's part of the charm, is you coming out of something he makes and sort of being like, "All right, some of that is just me vibing, and some of that is sort of like, yeah, some of that maybe passed me by." Um, but I think for me, that's part of the appeal of it. Um, but I think that is it's a real strength of his. I think for me, of like, yeah, that's really one of his games, and for better or for worse, he's made another thing that really does feel like something he makes. Um, I am happy to see that, just like the first game. I wanted to talk about this specifically 'cause that way people don't have to go look for it. It dumps you back in the open world as soon as you're done, which is really great. There is a gameplay change to the game that I'm not sure how to talk about without spoiling it, but I think it's pretty cool. It's an optional way to make the game easier, which I think is an interesting way, because I think now that I'm in like, let's build the infrastructure and deliver mode, I'm okay making the game easier, because like I've played the whole thing, and if I want to make it harder, I have difficulty options that I can change. I think you can change difficulty while you're playing, but you also have this kind of additional optional thing. Um, I am happy to say that you the platinum seems way more achievable this time. It's kind of split into, like, there's an achievement for like there's a trophy for like every like chapter in the game, but there's also
Hmm.
like fun side stuff you're gonna run into, and then stuff for connecting people and like connecting the continent. Um, Thankfully, there is not a trophy like last time of like, do literally every single delivery in the game on the hardest difficulty perfectly, which was the thing that stopped me from platinuming the first game, because like I loved doing that stuff, but at some point it was like, cool, I'm loading up 6 more XL deliveries in the truck and delivering them back to like this one knot again. Hooray. Like, that sort of sucked a little bit of the fun out of it for me. Um, but thankfully,
Yeah.
there's nothing like that in this one. There is something like that, but it's not nearly as difficult. Um, And a lot of what I'm doing right now is just like building the infrastructure so that I can make a lot of these deliveries more easily. I'm connecting the last couple of shelters that I have. I only missed 4 of them by the time I finished the game. And I think one of them I I was supposed to miss until after the ending. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but like a lot 4 out of the number that there is in there was sort of like, okay, I feel like I did pretty well connecting as much as I could. Um, and I'm just kind of in that mode of like, yeah, let's try to go for the platinum here. Let's deliver all of this stuff. Let's build all the roads and the zip lines and all that stuff, and let's get this stuff going. And
Yeah, let's tickle that part of your brain that you need tickled every now and again.
well, and also like I'm not gonna deny that. Like I'm definitely doing that, but there's also a thing of like I'm in the like Despot's game phase of this, where like, okay, you need me to deliver these things in a truck along this road infrastructure I've built. I can do that, man. I know exactly how to do that. I know where the bad guys are. Like I know all of the kind of like ins and outs of this stuff. I'm just gonna make a bunch of deliveries. I'm gonna grab a bunch of packages on my way. I'm gonna deliver those to other people. Like I'm gonna do the kind of relaxing part of this game, and try and have some fun doing that. So, um, I really liked Death Stranding 2. I'm not surprised that I did, but I was a little bit worried of like, man, like, are you gonna kind of mess it up after the first one? Like, are you gonna lose what made that first one sort of unique and special? And I really don't think they did. At least for me, I don't think they did. Of like, I think they really did take what made the first game special. They kind of sanded off a couple of the rough edges and kind of built on the foundation of the first one. And I think they just made everything that was good in that first one better. And I think they told a bit more of a cohesive story on this one, and I think it served them really well. So I will again really recommend playing the first one, the director's cut version, please. It improves so many things and makes so many things way easier. It really is that kind of half step between the first game and the second game. And if you like that, play the second one however you are able to, whenever it comes out. I'm assuming at some point it will get a PC release since it's a Sony published thing. I'm hoping at some point it will get an Xbox release. That way more people can play it just like the first one. Hopefully it will not take as long as it did, for as long as the first one did to come to Xbox platforms. But it's really great. I really loved it, and I'm excited for Nim to come back so we can kind of talk more about his experiences with it. But I'm still kind of don't want to spoil, especially the ending stuff. I really don't want to spoil stuff here talking about that. But I really did love it, and I'm gonna try to get the platinum, just so I can kind of keep playing it from where I am, because I'm definitely not one of those games where I finish it and I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm ready. I'll uninstall it. I'm kind of ready to go. But I finished it and I was like, okay, let's start doing more deliveries. Let's do this thing. So that's Death Stranding 2. The only other game I have this week is Destiny 2: The Edge of Fate. Big new expansion.
There we go.
Came out this week. I don't have a lot of time in this. I have played
in this or for this.
In this, I have only finished the first 2 campaign missions. It looks like there's 15 of them. I am struggling with Destiny overall at the moment. This should be the point where I'm like regretting putting down Death Stranding 2 because I'm like nearly obsessively playing Destiny 2, and the opposite is true. Where I'm sitting down on my PS5 and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I should probably play Edge of Fate, but I could just do a bunch of deliveries, and that's been sort of the decision that I've been making. Um, Part of it is general burnout and like life related and Destiny related. So the idea of more Destiny is sort of a little bit daunting at the moment. Um, Part of it is the new destination Kepler is interesting. Um, it seems sort of like I was hoping for something that looked considerably different from the rest of Destiny, because it seemed like that's what they were really going for. The main hub of Kepler does look different, as a much different style to it. Um, and but like once you get into the kind of like it's a hub and spoke sort of thing. So once you get out of the hub and you get into individual spokes, it's like, oh well, this one looks like Mars, this one looks like Io, this one looks like, some of the other expansions we've seen. So like it's a little bit disappointing from a like a design standpoint of like, okay, well this just looks like kind of typical Fallen stuff. This looks like these kind of areas. So I don't think it's the kind of fresh injection of like interesting stuff that I was really hoping for. Um, that's not to say that like it's still Destiny, so it still plays really well. It still looks really good. Um, I think I've gotten two of the three new abilities. Oh my god, I don't remember what the one is. It's basically like you shoot a portal gun and then you switch spots with it. And that ability seems interesting. I just got it, so I don't have too much experience with it. Matter Spark is the one that's kind of on everybody's lips right now. That's the Metroid Ball. Um, First impressions are that doesn't really work. To kind of put it bluntly, um, I switching into the ball doesn't feel really great. Sometimes the camera will spin around wildly, which they say they're going to fix because it's giving a lot of people some pretty bad motion sickness. Oddly enough, not me, which is the thing I would not expect. Um, but when you directly compare it to something like the Metroid Prime games, um, there's no real opportunity to use it during the campaign as an exploration tool because there's a time limit on it. So when you turn into the ball, it starts counting down. It's like 35 or 40 seconds. And at that point, when the timer runs out, you're forced out of the ball. And if you're in like an enclosed space that you're exploring, it just kills you. So like it's this thing of like I'm having trouble with it almost immediately because you're forced into the ball, which is fine, but like it doesn't do the like side view. You remember from the Metroid Prime games when you go into the ball and you go into an enclosed space, it moved the camera to the side view and you kind of explore in a 2D plane. It doesn't do that. You're still behind your character in third person. So like trying to find a small crack in the floor or trying to find like a darkened passage that you're trying to go for can be pretty hard. And then a lot of times you'll have to turn into the ball to go interact with something while you're fighting a boss. So it'll be like, oh, you did a bunch of damage to the boss, you hit the health gate. They have a shield that pops up. And you'll need to go turn into the ball, find a place to go to, interact with that puzzle, and then do something at the end of it to bring their shield down while the boss and like 10 other dudes are shooting you, including when you're in the ball. So like a lot of it kind of immediately doesn't feel really great. Um, the in-game triumphs say that there's like upgrades for the each of the powers, and I don't have the third power yet, which is the one where you like throw a grenade and it moves stuff around the environment and you can kind of platform across it. Um, I don't have that yet, so maybe the combination of all three of them will do something interesting. But kind of first impressions of all of this stuff is kind of not super great. Um, there are new enemy types, which I think are interesting. There is the Fallen have a unit called the Corsair, which is a flying unit. So there's a little bit of verticality, but not really as much as I was necessarily hoping. They kind of still they fly, but the majority of times I've been running into them, they kind of still fly in your like sight lines. They're not flying too much higher above you, which
Mhm.
is a little bit of a bummer. But again, still very early from a campaign perspective. Um, this release, before I get into other stuff, this release is proving to be definitely one of the buggier ones we've had. Xbox platforms have had pretty consistent crashes. They've fixed some of them, so it's getting better. But it's a pretty inconsistent experience for a lot of Xbox platform holders. PS4 players for the first couple of days just couldn't go into the tower; it would just crash them. PS5 players, including myself, have a pretty significant audio bug where at some point all the audio just stops completely, and will intermittently kind of come and go. If anyone watched me streaming this the other day, I was just doing the game sounds myself because there were just none of them. So if you want to hear my impression of Outbreak Perfected, I thought I did pretty well. But like all of that stuff kind of combined isn't a really great first impression, I think, for a lot of this new stuff. Um, but I will say just once more, I am very early on. I will continue playing this. I want to see where the story goes because it does seem really interesting. I think Lodi, the new human character, seems really fun. I think he has one of the best kind of voiceover performances we've had in quite a while, which I think is really great. And I do really want to see where that's going. Oh, there's one more thing that I think is really interesting. When you're on Kepler and you are in the hub area, you can go talk to a bunch of the characters that are around, and it pops up what's basically the No Man's Sky dialogue box, where it's like a character standing there, like in the middle of the frame, and just an unvoiced text box underneath with what they're saying to you. And if you can't understand them yet, it just has like a message of like you don't know their language quite yet. And I was like, that's just No Man's Sky. You're doing the No Man's Sky thing, which is great because No Man's Sky is a great game. But uh, I it's a weird to have that in this game overall. The thing that I do like from this game, which seems to be the thing that nobody else likes, which I'm kind of surprised about, is the new portal system. So, one of the biggest problems that new or returning players have had in Destiny 2 for the longest time has been you start the game and you get through all of the like missions they automatically throw you into and all that stuff. We've talked about that ad nauseum. But like you're then greeted with the director, which is that kind of planet screen of like 20 circles for you to possibly select from. Each one of those has either a giant map with a bunch of LZs on it, or it's like another set of icons that's like, hey man, now you can do a bunch of Crucible, and here's 10 modes, or you can do a bunch of strikes, and here's 6 different nodes for you to do. Um, they have they haven't replaced the director, but I think that seems to be the direction that they're kind of going in, um, with the portal, which really is, people are sort of saying this dismissively, but um, it really does have the same feel as kind of a mobile games experience that you have, which is you have kind of one screen that is your home for things you can do in Destiny for where you are right now. And I think that's the most interesting thing. So when you have the director, there's like a big corner of it that's like the Edge of Fate is out now. Like here's the thing for you to go play the new expansion. But down in the lower left corner, um, there's 4 different options, and it's solo ops, fire team ops, I think it's called Pinnacle ops, and multiplayer, like PvP. And it's basically solo ops are I'm going to be playing by myself, and they are shorter experiences. They're usually 5 to 10 minutes. Fire team ops is, and we'll get into the problems with fire team ops in a second, but it's basically like I want to find a fire team to do stuff with, or I have a fire team and we need to do 3-player stuff. Pinnacle ops are the like PvE endgame stuff of like higher difficulty nightfalls, exotic missions, like one-off kind of more difficult things, and then PvP is kind of what it's always been. But even PvP is a little bit changed, where it's like, here's one thing for competitive, here's one thing for just quick play of like I want to go play some PvP. There's going to be a new mode that they were going to bring in this week, but it seems like it needs to get delayed. Um, my only so I think the interesting thing about this is when you go to say Pinnacle ops or solo ops, it will only give you the options that you can do with your current power level. Um, so I talked about it a little bit last week, but they squished power level down when we came in, right before this expansion. We were at 2,000 power. We now started at 10. Instead of you doing thousands of points of damage to enemies, you're now doing 30. On like a crit, you're doing maybe 100. So like you're the they're doing the kind of squish that a lot of games do after they've been out for a while. But what's really great is if you go into solo ops and you're just starting, you only have like solo ops quick play, where it's like, cool, you're between power level 10 and 90. This is the one you want to do. And every time you get a drop from this experience or run or whatever you're doing, it's going to improve your power level. And it will improve it until you get to 90, which at that point, the next one unlocks, which I think they call advanced, I think is the second difficulty. And at that point, that one unlocks, and then you can start doing those. And it'll be a little bit more difficult. Looks like it'll have a little bit, a couple more modifiers on it, kind of positive and negative. But at that point, the game, from a solo perspective, will start to unfold a little bit more. And then there are 2 additional difficulties after that of like, okay, you got up to X power level, this thing unlocks, it's a little bit more difficult, it's a little bit more complex. And I think I like that from especially from a like newer returning player standpoint, because I can say, all right, you're coming back to Destiny, go in the open the portal, which now it opens instead of the director when you push the touchpad. Open the portal, do solo ops, do that for a bunch of time. Like get reacclimated with the game, if you want to play with a bunch of other people, do fire team ops, play with a couple other people. Like that's the thing you should be doing with your friends. Um, but like I like that it's a more directed experience of, cool, you need to get from X power level to Y power level. Just go do this thing. And the director is still there. All of the stuff that we had before is still there, but I like that there's a much more approachable system for the game, instead of like, okay, so you're going to want to open the map for Earth, not the one for EDZ, but you want to find the landing zone in the lower southwest, blah, 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 blah. Like, already more complicated, even if you have someone to guide you through it. If you didn't have anyone to guide you through it, like, go with God, you had almost no chance. I think my only criticism with it so far is I think Fireteam Ops isn't as broken out as it should be, because once you kind of get, there's like Fireteam Ops Quick Play, which is similar to the Strike playlist from before, which still exists. But it's basically like, it's going to matchmake two other people. You're going to go do like a 15-minute strike, and or like a battleground or something that's approximately the same length, and then you're going to kind of be in and be out of it. The additional difficulties of Fireteam Ops don't do matchmaking, which I think is okay, but I think it makes that node a little bit confusing, because it's like, okay, cool, I finished the campaign, I'm power level 100 now, like, let's do the harder version of this thing, and now at that point you need to have friends. So I think that makes that a little bit confusing. And there's still a bunch of additional stuff. There's new weapons, there's new armor tiers, there's armor sets, there's blah blah blah. But like, that's maybe a little bit too inside baseball for this show at the moment, and I am not really getting into that stuff. They've changed all 6 of the stats. It used to be like mobility and intelligence and resilience and stuff like that. They've changed all of those stats into something that's a little bit more obvious. All of the gear that I was wearing before translated into a build that I'm pretty happy with. So I haven't really interacted with the new armor system too much at all, because I looked at my gear and I looked at my build and I went, all right, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yes, I'll do.
Yeah, like, I'm basically infusing all of the stuff that I have right now. They got rid of an upgrade, like, enhancement cores, those like cubes you needed to enhance your gear, and every time you want to infuse, it just costs 1 enhancement core, which, even if you're starting out in the game, they kind of drop like crazy. So it's a much better system at the beginning, I think. How it will do long term, I think we'll see over the next couple weeks and months. But it's kind of hard, because I'm of two minds of it, where I'm not necessarily super jazzed at the moment to play more Destiny 2, but what I have played, the Metroid Ball aside, has largely been okay. It's just, I am able to recognize at the moment that I have been playing Destiny 1 and 2 for more than 10 years, and I'm trying to be cognizant of the fact that at some point I will be done with Destiny, and that's okay. Like, even if Destiny isn't over, I might be done with it early. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I don't think you should play every game forever. I don't think you should continue to play any game if you're not having fun. Realizing that both Moon, you and I can have tendencies to do achievement and trophy hunting, where it's like, well, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna play 200 more hours of this, even if I'm not having fun the whole time, because I'm real close to that platinum, or I'm real close to the 1,000 points. See, Despot's game right now is like a perfect example. Um, but that's like a conscious choice of, okay, I might not have the most fun, and I might have other games I need to start playing, but there's something about this one that I want to keep kind of hammering on it for. Um, so we'll see how I feel once I finish the campaign. I definitely still want to finish it, because I like where Destiny's story is going. Um, this There are no more seasons in the game, so the lead up to the next, I think they're calling them major updates. Lead up to the next major update seems like it's fairly short. I think it's going to be 60 days. So that might be another thing that kind of, I don't have a super amount of FOMO in this game, which I know might sound kind of funny as the person who is telling other people how to get the FOMO JPEGs in this game. Um, but
I
like
mean,
that
it's not
might
like you built a site for it or anything.
right, but like that might be the thing that kind of encourages me to let the FOMO go for this one a little bit. Is like, I just, the amount of time I have every week, I don't know if I can like max out the reward pass for this thing. I ran into this. I forgot I played Division 2 this week a little bit. There's a big payday crossover event right now that's going on, which is actually really cool. It's a 2-day, or it's a 2-week event, and a lot of the rewards are like the masks from Payday. You can get as masks in the game in Division 2. The suits that the characters are wearing, you can get as outfits in the Division 2, and a lot of them are just like from the reward track, which I think was like, there's a bunch of really good free rewards, and I think it might have been $10 to get the like paid version, which isn't really that bad. Um, but I looked at it and I was like, maybe I'm okay like not getting everything in this game. Maybe I'm okay like not having 100% of everything in all of these games. Maybe that's where I'm at
Playing
right
out, you
now.
say? What's that?
Yeah, like maybe that's where I'm at right now. Maybe that's okay. So I I guess my overall thought here is, I'm not sure how to feel about Destiny 2 overall, and that's okay. I'm not sure I need to have all the answers, and I'm not sure that I need to still be in love with Destiny 2 after all this time, after 10 years, and that's okay. So we'll see if I finish the campaign and like, oh man, Destiny's back. Let's do it. It's the primary game. I might and I might not, and that's all right at the end of the day. All right, that's all the games I've been playing. Let's take a break.
Yep.
Yeah, Feyre, we talked about it a little bit in the Outcast, but my wife moved her desk into another room. That way I can do more streaming during the day. As once my kid goes back to school next month, my goal is to be streaming 5 days a week, so every weekday for at least a couple of hours every day. So giving it the real shot here, trying to be that streamer. Maybe Bungie will finally accept me into the content creator program after this. Maybe.
No,
It has
because
been
you're not
funny.
streaming Bungie all the time.
A bunch of us in the API development community have applied for that, because we're like, well, we are technically content creators because we're making these websites or infographics or stuff like this. Like, I feel like maybe we should be in that system, and the answer so far has been not really. It's like, okay, I can respect that is a hard line, but I wish they would make a different decision. So maybe someday. All right. are you ready to wrap this bad boy up?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I should probably pull up show notes. There they are. Hello. All right. Let's do releases in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of July 21st, 2025. Monument Valley 3 comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. This came out on mobile devices as like a Netflix thing, what is it, 2 years ago? Maybe at this point? I feel like it did. And now it's coming to consoles. I really should play these games because I'm fairly sure I would really like them as these kind of like perspective puzzlers. And for some reason, I just have not gotten around to them at all. Have you played any of these yet, Moon?
Nope.
Yeah, these seem like things we would enjoy. We should probably play like the first one
Throw
for
in a game club.
yeah, for Game Club. Now that I'm saying it out loud, because it'd be a good like, as another year we're playing another Monument Valley game, just like whenever a new Life is Strange or Life is Strange-esque game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we'll do another one of those. But yeah, Monument Valley 3
I don't know where
seems.
my post-it notes, so I can't pencil it down for making notes.
Yeah, well, we'll hop in our super secret server and make a note in there too. Yeah, people seem to really like this. It seemed to be one of those mobile hits that, even quote unquote even non-gamers really enjoyed, which, like we said for a very long time, if you're playing anything, any video game, you're playing games. So like, including Monument Valley. So,
I forgot about the server.
yeah, there you go. Just pop that bad boy in there.
I already did.
Monument Valley 3 Wildgate is our next game. That's all one word, coming out for PS5, Series consoles, and PC. That's a really interesting looking game. It says it's a PvP multiplayer shooter with ship
I'm out.
to yeah. Well, hold on. I think you might be a little bit interested in the rest of this. It's ship to ship combat and then first person shooting, seemingly when you kind of board the other person's ship. It seems like they're trying to, based on the trailer that I've been watching here and I saw earlier.
Are they trying to do the thing that Battlefront 2 was supposed to do, and that was originally getting developed, where it was
No,
like space combat to landing kind of thing?
I think it's more like Sea of Thieves in space. Seems to be what they're going for. And
But the problem is it has the same issue I have with Sea of Thieves. It's those
right,
three tiny little letters, P, V, and P.
right. Have you tried the well, I
No,
guess
I
we
need
haven't
to,
because
I
we haven't
need
talked
to.
about it on the show, but they now have the dedicated
Yeah,
private servers. Sorry, private servers, not dedicated servers. For Sea
yeah.
of
I need
Thieves.
to. I need to get this PC set up for it because the other PC that can't really run it that well.
Yeah,
So I need to get that taken care of, and then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
yeah. That
one day
might be
I'll
cool.
find the time to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So Wildgate seems pretty neat on paper, but I'm with you. The PvP stuff is stuff that I can find interesting when I elect to do it. Like I'll play a bunch of Destiny 2 PvP. Like I'll do Division 2's Dark Zone. Like that's probably the closest I'll get to an extraction shooter. Although I guess that is an extraction shooter in that mode. But like when if it was me and the buddies playing this against AI, and you could choose to play PvP, I might be more interested in it. But I think if it is going to be the kind of forced PvP, like it's the Sea of Thieves sort of thing, that I'm much less interested in that. Just to be
Mhm.
honest about my preferences, but it looks really cool. I think it has a very cool style, and I like the idea of more games trying to do this Sea of Thieves thing, because it is really cool. There hasn't really been one where I'm like, yeah, that's the one for me. So hopefully someday. Next game here is Killing Floor 3. Comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC. This is the kind of fast-moving zombies shooter. The first two, I think, have quietly done very, very well. I think it's
Yeah, they've done very well in the way that these games always do, which is super, super toxic communities, that kind of thing.
oh good. I was just about to give it some credit, but never mind. um, but yeah, I think if you've seen anything from the other two games, I think it's going to be largely the same sort of thing here. Just hordes of fast-moving zombies that you and your team are tasked to take out. So, I, I, these are the tough games to talk about here in releases because either you're still playing Killing Floor 2 and you're super pumped for this game, or you look at it and you go, "Yeah, that's not for me."
Yep.
There's no real kind of middle ground there. Next game here, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV. That's the full title. Comes out on Switch 2. They spent a ton of time showing this off during the big Switch 2 launch direct thing. So you've probably seen it of like, it uses the camera to put your face and your friend's face in the game. There's a bunch of new like mouse controlled mini games, and I think there's new microphone based ones too, because those worked very well on the previous ones. But it's kind
Bigger.
of bigger. It's more of this game that you've probably seen your favorite streamer or YouTuber play already, and or you and your peeps have played this already a bunch. So I don't think it's too radically different from a kind of like a foundational standpoint, but I don't know. We'll see once Northern Lion starts to play it, because he has still been playing the original version and yelling at his friends. And last game that's coming out this week is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Comes out on PS5, Series consoles, and PC. I was really hoping Nimp was here this week because I feel like this is very much a game that's up his alley. And I haven't really heard him talking too much about it, so I'm not sure if it's on his radar or not. But this is like a mythology Soulsborne sort of game that
Yeah.
looks really cool, and again, it's a little hard to tell what's different. It's like half of the roguelikes that people see where it's like, okay, why is this deck builder roguelike different than the other ones? It's like, well, let me tell you about the meta. It's just like no one.
I've got a friend called Rob who will happily tell me everything that I need to know.
Right. So like, I think from the outside, as someone who isn't really enmeshed in this world, it kind of looks like another Soulsborne game, which I'm going to be honest, if a bunch of people are excited for this game because it is another Soulsborne and they're just pumped to play another one, like that's super cool. But I'm not sure what differentiates it from the other ones, if anything. But
I mean, it's got to be the location, the setting, the style, that kind of thing, right?
I think so. Yeah, like it's definitely not like, it's evil.
It's got a very wushu vibe in this
Right.
trailer that I'm only watching on the stream rather than our call.
Yeah, like it's very much not the like From Software of like, what if England was evil? And it's like, okay, well, cool, but that's you guys have been doing that for a while.
It's technically also true. Like that's just
true.
straight facts.
That's true. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Nimp picks that up. If he does, we'll talk about it on the show. I originally had Grounded 2 in here, the game preview, but it looks like that's actually coming out next week. I think there's early access to the game preview, which is kind of like a barf of a statement if you buy the like Turbo Suckers edition.
The Ultimate Edition, yeah.
So I think that might be coming out this week, but we'll talk about that next week once the kind of Game Pass available version. Oh, also, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is on Game Pass day and date. I forgot to mention that as well. But we'll talk about Grounded 2 next week once it's available a little bit more wide. All right, that's all the releases. We don't have any news stories. I want to get out of here before the stream starts getting weird again because my internet has been weird for the last couple of days. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. As we talked about at the beginning, this is a patron-supported show. This show keeps on rolling because of your support. If you'd like to support us, you can do so at e1m1.cash.
Ones and numbers. Also, something I totally forgot.
Oh, yeah.
You can gift patronages now too. So if you happen to know somebody and you wanna give them a little taste,
That's right.
a little taste of that patronage, why not drop them a fun for a $5 link for a month or so and see how they feel?
Yeah, I had no idea that was upcoming. The thing that I have been frantically trying to turn off is their like AI assistant. Let me bother people to email them to come back or keep the. I turn that off. Like I don't want to bother people of like, I see you haven't liked our post in 3 months. Can you? Nope, don't care.
Yeah,
leave them alone. So that's cool. I didn't know you could gift them. So gift a friend.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it until just now when I was thinking about a long-standing community member who does not have a patron membership at the moment, and I realized I can do something about that.
There you go. You can be the change you want to see in the world on our patron page.
Yes.
So go do that over at the page. You'll get all the cool stuff we talked about at the beginning. And if you can't support us financially, best way to do, like, comment, subscribe over on the YouTube videos. There's a YouTube video of every episode that hits the public feed. So like we don't stream our Game Club episodes or Pup episodes. Those have video versions that go on the YouTube channel. One of the biggest ways that you can help us, including any other podcast you listen to, is by rating and commenting positively, please, on any podcatcher you listen to these shows on. That really, really does help. Those ratings and reviews really do help kind of push podcasts you love kind of up the algorithm and hit that kind of sweet spot of like, oh, you liked this show, you might like this other highly rated show. So if you can do that, that really does help. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this episode. We really do appreciate it every single week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right. What titles do you have?
Now is the time to yawn. Pavlov's Dog, weirdly specific, very high number. Too Tired to Think, Chaos Goblin, How Long Was It, Semi-Legible One, In This or For This, I Forgot About the Server, Wushu Vibes, and Straight Facts.
The only ones I had written down were Too Tired to Think and Chaos Goblin. I put a check mark next to Too Tired to Think because both of us had it. Also, it feels very...
We both had Chaos Goblin as well.
Yeah. It feels very appropriate for this week is Too Tired to Think.
Too Tired to Think? I'm good with that one.
Okay. I'll stick with that. Also, I like it because I'm too tired to think. I still have to go edit all this stuff. So, like... Yeah. All right. I have circled it.
Okay.
Oh my god, I just looked over here. An Audition had switched, when it gets to the end and it starts a new screen, it had just switched over and the entire screen was blank, and I was like, I swear,
and you panicked
to God.
Yeah,
I've
done that before.
My heart stopped done that for so many times. Like, if you just didn't record this hasn't happened in years, knock on wood, but like, if you just stopped recording, we had that happen yesterday. Don't do it 2 days in a row.
Yeah, dude. It happens to me all the time because I forget to do the auto tracking bar with when I'm doing Wayward Sons. I forget to hit the bar so the auto switches screen. Yeah, and I'll just turn my head and just see a static screen of waveform,
And you're like,
and
oh
you're like, oh
no,
no,
what happened?
no, 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 no. But yes, I'm ready.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 926 for July 21st, 2025. Too tired to think.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it.
I almost yawned again. You said that
I know.
we start ready
As
to
soon
start.
as I
You did
started
the countdown.
doing I almost yawned because I thought, oh man, I wonder if Moon's going to yawn. I was like, nope, keep it in. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. All right.
I thought it.
We clearly need to go. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. We'll